Assalamu alaikum, family. Peace be unto you. Welcome to the Sajdah channel. You're tuned in, and I'm your host, Sajdah Wendy Muhammad, and we're just going to chat this morning. I don't even know what we're talking about. I do got a motivational video to show you, but look, I woke up and just realized how much Allah just keeps blessing me over and over and over and over. I look this way, there's a blessing. I look that way, there's a blessing. I look down, there's a blessing. I make a move, there's a blessing. And I just felt like celebrating that today. So be a friend, tell a friend, and we'll be right back. We're going to jump right into it. We're going to have a prayer and a quick commercial, and I'll be right back. Get your coffee. I got my coffee in my Prince cup this morning. Let's go.
O Allah, guide me among those whom Thou hast guided aright, and preserve me among those whom Thou hast preserved, and befriend me among those whom Thou hast befriended. Bless me in whatsoever Thou dost grant me, and deliver me from the evil of what Thou hast judged. Surely Thou judgest, and none can judge against Thee, and he whom Thou befriendest is not disgraced. Blessed art Thou, O Lord, and exalted be Thee above what they set up besides Thee. I bear witness, nothing deserves to be served besides Thee, and I bear witness that Muhammad is Thy servant and apostle. Amen.
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad, who in my judgment is the master historian, taught us that of all our studies, history is the most attractive, and it is best qualified to reward the researcher. History is most attractive. Why should history be most attractive? Because history is the recorded time of the human family in its struggle to overcome obstacles. There is no life that is without struggle. The Holy Quran teaches us that man, meaning man and woman, is made to face difficulties. And after difficulty comes ease. But it is history that guides us through difficulty. For if you know how people who had difficulty yesterday got through, and if your difficulty is somewhat similar, then today we also can get through if we follow the guidance of history. This is why Carter G. Woodson and many of our black giants fought for black people to know our history. Because in not knowing our history, we don't have a guide. And without a guide, we are lost. No wonder the Bible...
Assalamu alaikum, y'all. Peace be unto you. Welcome to the Sajdah Wendy Muhammad YouTube channel. Look, I'm feeling good this morning. I got me a little rest. I told y'all yesterday I was sleepy. Look, I woke up this morning about 3:30ish, and Spirit said, you owe you. You owe yourself. And then I started thinking about and reflecting on as I opened my eyes and I looked around, and everywhere I looked, I saw blessings. Everything I thought about, blessings, blessing. I said, oh my goodness, Allah just keeps blessing me. One blessing after another blessing after another blessing after another blessing. None of us have no reason to believe that he won't keep on blessing us. We can go back generations and deliverance after deliverance, blessings, survival. We are master gods around here because we done made it. And you deserve, through all you've been through, all you've struggled through, how hard you've studied, how much pain you've endured, how much pain you're enduring now, all the stuff that people done did to you, you deserve to stand up 10 toes down and look in the face of your enemy and say, I'm a winner. So you do what you do because my winning genetics is on autopilot. I come from a long line of winners and seers and faith givers. Come on, y'all. Let's not lose hope. Let's not lose the faith. You. I don't care what you're going through. Go through your spiritual Rolodex and look back and you'll see your grandmother went through stuff. Your mama went through stuff. Your daddy went through stuff. Your great granddaddy and your mom. Look, everybody went through stuff. The person taking you through stuff has been through stuff. So don't make a God out of them just because they taking you through stuff. It's time. You. It's your turn. It's my turn. It's our turn. Let's go. And you ain't got to do nothing weird. You ain't got to be a weirdo to win. You can stand 10 toes down in your faith and win in business, win in life, win in relationships, win in love, win in power. I posted something the other day because I just been watching so many Black men just going through so much stuff. And sisters, look, don't get triggered. Yes, we go through stuff, but the brothers be going through it because it's like the world just don't love them. And unfortunately, it's a tough situation because some of us have to give them a little bit of stiff arm because we don't want to take on too much burden. But then at the same time, we love them to pieces. And I was just thinking about Black men and how beautiful they are and how amazing they are. And how I wanted to speak over them this morning and say, you to make it. You owe yourself to make it in the face of a devil that wants to incarcerate you, that has movements against you, that hasn't taught you how to truly be a man and step up to responsibility. You deserve it. You deserve to win and you deserve to make it. You deserve it. And so I say to all of us, love on a Black man today. Love a brother today. Love a brother because oftentimes the world just doesn't love him and doesn't give him a chance. Listen, Black people, we don't have to worry about policies. You know why? Because the policies are not written to protect us. We don't got to be fighting the DEI fight because the DEI wasn't about us in the first place. Sit back and collect your blessings and let them fight over what they're fighting about. You take care of your community, your family, your people. Let's unite with one another. Let's be kind to one another. Let's respect those in authority over us. As long as it don't conflict with our religion, like you're not going to abuse us. Be good to people when you get in charge. Handle people with a certain kind of care and concern and love that you want to be treated. We're taught to treat our brothers and sisters the way we want to be treated. Treat others the way we want to be treated. So it doesn't matter what they look like. It doesn't matter. See, we come from a people who have been so abused by people in all walks of life that at this point, all we can do is look out for ourselves, look out for each other, and just make sure we don't repeat the same mistakes that they made. because the doom that is befalling and that we see happening all around us, you don't want to get in the way of that. Just step out, step back, step out of the way. Be nice, be kind, be loving. But you ain't got to get in that. I don't even know why we in that fight. We put ourselves in office, and I'm sorry to be political and anti-political, but I just was looking at it. I said, we vote, we put people that look like us in office, and nothing happens. You got the people still killing the brothers on the corner. Now they're killing the sisters, busting up in sisters' homes, killing them. No protection. So I don't know when we're going to get it that we have to get up and do something for ourselves. We owe ourselves. Don't struggle all of these years and put in all of these hours just to quit and give up. I'm not going to let you or nobody who thinks that they don't like me, they may not like my face, they may not like my lips, they may not like my skin, they may not like my hair, they may not like my last name, they may not like what I do, but what you're not going to do is come against me and win. See, because winning is on autopilot over here. I'm just saying. I want to show y'all a quick video. We're going to look at this real quick. When I kept on thinking in my head, you owe you, it was interesting because when I got up and started looking at videos, this one came up, you owe you. And I said, look at that. I'm supposed to play that this morning. Okay. So we're going to take a look at that. You owe you. Somebody type that in the chat. You owe you. You owe yourself to succeed. You've been working on that business. You've been having that business idea in your mind. You've been striving. It's been a hobby. You've been hustling. Don't give up. Don't walk away. There's people that died and passed their dreams on to you in your DNA. And so you got to win, if not for yourself, for them, for your children. But I would say make it personal. It's got to be personal. See, it's personal for me that you're not going to win against me. It's personal for me that your lies are not going to overtake me. It's personal for me that your dislike of me is not going to overpower the love that I have that swirls and swarms around me with each and every blessing. Because, see, I know how to find God in everything. You owe you. It's time. It's our turn. Let's go into 2025. Let's go into 2025 focused, healing. Focus on yourself. Be very selfish in 2025. Say, I got to heal. I got to take care of me. I got to get my head right. I got to get my heart right. I got to raise my level of discernment. And the only way I'm going to do that is I got to get some of this trauma up off of me. Whatever I got to do. But I'm winning. Oh, I'm going to win. There's no room for defeat over here. That's what I want each and every one of us saying. There's no room for defeat. I'm smiling and laughing and enjoying myself and enjoying all of my blessings. We not engaging in any deviant and weird ass behavior that's going to take us off course. We're going to walk the straight line. We're going to tighten up that wobble. Get our heads and our hearts together and make sure our actions are in line so that we're serving and loving. I want each and every one of us to be so powerful that anybody who comes in our presence is blessed. Just to put your toe in the room where we at, you should feel something. Just to know that we're over there, you should feel blessed. That's how powerful the blessing should be emanating and busting off of us. And those of us that know Jesus, come on now. And if you know what I'm talking about, y'all like, wait, she a Muslim. Why is she talking about Jesus? Think about it. All right. I'll be, watch this video, y'all. I'll be right back. And get you some coffee. Y'all got y'all coffee? Okay. While you at it, like, subscribe, Cash App, Sajdah Enterprises. It's the end of the year. Give a love offering, give a gift. We're going to check out this video and I'll be right back.
You can't go viral not being your authentic self. You got to be your authentic self to go viral. Does that make sense? So I'm going to start all over before I get into my message today. There are those of you who are putting on and you're putting on for people, and you're not going to get what God will have you to get as long as you're putting on. To be your authentic self. Now, here's what happens. I'm going to be real. Here's what happens when you're your authentic self. You're going to lose a lot of people. You're going to lose a lot of people, but you're going to gain people who will ride or die. Does that make sense? Okay, so most of y'all know I had an opportunity to be on a big show, right? That they show in the morning to millions of people. And by the grace of God, I didn't go. And people was like, bro, millions of people you could have sold more books. I said, I don't want another million people in my life. I'm not interested. I don't need a million more problems. I don't need a million more people in my life. I don't need a million more people to buy books. I don't need no more money in my life right now. God is giving me what I need for right now. I don't need no more money. Now you might need more, but I don't need nothing else. You're not about to convince God that you know different than who you are. He knows who you are. If you would just realize who you are and embrace it, he could finally give you his plan. But he can't give you his plan when you this version of you. So all you really have to do is develop and he will deliver. As you develop, God is going to deliver more of the plan. The reason why you don't have a full plan is because you ain't fully developed. God can't deliver to you what he wants to deliver to you because you're not developed to the level you need to be developed to get the stuff, and you chasing the stuff when all you need to chase is development. And as you develop, that's why I got a very few followers on Instagram. It's people telling jokes. They got 10 million followers. They telling jokes. They got 10 million. They telling jokes. I could tell some more jokes and get the numbers up, but I'm not interested in making people laugh. Ain't nothing funny. We live in a society right now, ain't nothing funny. I'm gonna be telling you jokes. So I'm gonna talk development talk. Why? Because a small group of people are ready to get developed. But once you get developed, then God delivers. You're going to die. And you don't know when you're going to die, so stop acting like you know. That's what God told me to tell you. He told me to tell you, some of y'all, if you knew you only had 3 years left, you'd live differently. He told me to tell you to live like you're going to die. Stop living like you're going to live forever, because you're not. Stop. Stop. I told y'all the story when my grandmother passed. My grandma been well her whole life. She was 92 almost. She was weeks away from 93. My father called me, my auntie called me, like, grandma in the hospital. I'm like, bet. And the way they said it was like, your grandma in the hospital. You know what I'm saying? She ain't sick, she gonna be out. That's how they said it, like, grandma good. I was like, bet. Grandma called, hey, baby, how you doing? I was like, all right, grandma, how you doing? Right? And so my father was like, she about to go into surgery, right? But she ain't never been sick. She about to go into surgery. The doctor said, it's good. My grandma called me. I should have knew something was up. I was in Chicago. I was there. And my wife was like, you probably need to go see your grandma. I'm like, nah, I'll see her when she get out. God told me to tell you you're going to die. And there's nothing you could do about it. Now, you can keep eating right, but you can eat right if you want to. You're not going to make it to 200. Keep doing push-ups. You good, but you're not going to live to be 200. So don't stop doing what you're doing, because that's going to help the quality of your life. But he told me you can't make your life go to 300 or 200. You're going to die. And some of us are going to die not because of us. Some of us are going to die because some other fool was drunk and hit us. So some of you not even going to die because of you. You're going to die because of somebody else's decisions. And my grandma called me just before we went into surgery. I should have knew something wrong. My grandma said, baby, I need your spirit. You know, grandma don't like to be sick, but I need your spirit. I need your motivation. You the one in the family that got that. And it was an eerie, whatever, weird kind of thing. But I was just like, she never been sick before, so she doing her thing. My father called me and was like, yo, she got out of surgery. They said she good. She just need to recover. I was like, bad. Then my father called me hours later and like, your grandma, it was weird. He didn't even say she was dead. He was just like, your grandma had some complications. I was like, oh, okay, what kind? You know what I'm saying? Constipation, complications. Like, what kind of complications is she having? He was like, no, complications. I was like, bruh, we grown. Like, what? Do I need to get in the car? Do I need to come? Like, what? He's like, no, she didn't make it. I said, she didn't make what? She didn't make what? He was like, she gone. I said, what? For some of us in this room, you may only have a year. We may only have 2, 3. I don't know. But God told me to tell you, when you leave here, stop acting like you got 20. Stop acting like you got 30. And develop as quick as you can so that you can get what God has for you as long as you can. How many of you that if I would have waited another 10, 15 years to get right with God, you may not have gotten a hold of my gift online? And I just want to, can I just be real? Can I just be real? Like, I just want to show you what I'm trying to tell you. What if I still would be trying to work it out and trying to get developed? What if I was still getting up at 8 o'clock in the morning instead of 3 with God? What if I didn't change, get my marriage right? Didn't try to become a better father? What if I didn't change and develop and become this version of me? That message that you got, that I wouldn't have been able to give that message because I wouldn't be me, and you didn't get that message at that time, and you would have leave here knowing that you may not have years. You may not have double digits. So whatever needs to be done in that time frame, do it. Because not only does it affect you, your development affects other people's delivery. That some of you, and it's not a problem, but some of you are going to get surgery, like you're enhancing your breasts, and you're enhancing your butt, and you're enhancing your physical fit. Some of you are in the gym and you're working out. He told me to tell you, that's okay, but stop doing leaf work and branch work and do root work. He told me to tell you, stop doing leaf work. Some of you doing leaf work. There's nothing wrong with leaf work if you're doing root work, but he said you're not doing root work. You're trying to change the size of your breast so you can attract what he has for you. And the changing of your breast is not about to attract what he has for you. So I'm not suggesting you don't enhance yourself, but he told me to tell you that when you fix the leaves, it's not about to fix the tree. Like me and my mom would have, so when I left home, there would be like months we didn't talk, like months. Because whenever we talk, it would be like beeped out. And it'd be like, this is weird. I shouldn't be talking to my mom like this, but I'm talking to her like this. And I didn't want to talk to her like this, but every time I got on the phone with the love boy, after about 5 minutes, we would be beeped out. And I knew like this ain't right, but I can't fix it. But I want to fix it, and I'm praying. Have you ever wanted something to be better than it was, but it wasn't? Have ever your heart been in the right place? You did all of the stuff that you thought, I love you, Mom. We had all the right, we talked the right talk, but we would always get to a place where it would be bitter, and then we'd be talking crazy to each other, and then we hang up the phone, and we wouldn't talk again for another 6 months. That's how long it would take. That whatever we said to each other that hurt both of us deeply, it took that long. But 6 months later, I get on the phone like I forgot what we said, and we get back on the phone and we repeat it again. And God said, I thought you said you didn't want to do that no more. I said, I don't. He said, well, why you keep doing it? I said, I don't know. I try to stop. He said, no, you're not trying to stop because you're not doing the work to stop. Now you got to do the root work. I said, what's the root work? You got to get to the root of why y'all fussing and fighting. So the first thing he told me to tell y'all, there are those of you in this room, that your blessing is going to come when you deal with the root and stop doing leaf and branch work. That's what you're doing. You're going to doctors for stuff you need to go to God for. You got a therapist and you try and let the therapist take God's spot. Ain't nothing wrong with the therapist, but you try and let the therapist be God. You can't do that. You got to go to God. And the reason why I go to God every morning at 3 a.m. is because I need to hear from him. What's the root work for today? Here's why you need to do root work. Because if you don't do root work, people won't respect you in the way you're trying to get respect. People don't respect people that do leaf and branch work, but try to tell you how to do root work. I'm just telling you, some of y'all brands is not going to the next level, not because you ain't got a sweet story or you got something sweet to share, you ain't got a sweet product. You do. People don't buy products, people buy people. And so people are not connecting with you because they look at you and go, oh, you're doing branch and leaf work, and you trying to come holler at me like. And there are those of you in this room, I'm just trying to tell you, when you do root work, people open up doors for you and people respect you because they like, yo, you're doing root work and I want to be able to do root work like you, or I'm doing root work like you. And a lot of y'all ain't doing root work, but you want to be out trying to act, you want the respect from the people, but you're not going to get it from them because you're not doing root work. Like, listen to me. Here's the deal. We don't say it as humans, but we judge each other. Just being real. We don't say it, but we judge each other. And even for those of us who try to be good saints, you still, when people come to you, you still like, bro, who are you to come to? I've done the root work, y'all, and I don't have an ego. I ain't got no pride. All I want to do is God's will at this point in my life. I'm not interested in nothing else. God, is it your will? He's like, no. I'm like, then I'm not going. I don't need to go nowhere that's not going. I only want to do what you want me to do. And when I do what God wants me to do, I'm telling y'all, the money comes, the info, everything comes. What do you intend to do about what God tells you to do? Because this is where most people go crazy. This is where most people go crazy. And most people don't realize you weren't born crazy. What happens is stress will make you go crazy. Anxiety will make you go crazy. This is why he said, the peace that I give you. And peace only comes from doing what God told you to do. You can't be at peace when you know you're doing something you ain't supposed to be doing. You can't be at peace. You're only at peace when you go to God and you speak to God and God say, do this, do this, do that, and you do it, you're at peace. So number two, the question becomes, what do you intend to do about it? What do you intend to do about what God told you to do? And this is where it starts to get murky, because a lot of you intend to go hide and run. That's what you do. You go run, you go hide. You don't like stress. You don't like pressure. You go run and hide. You go close the door. And now you with the enemy. You need to continue to dream of your future. Praise God. Continue to dream of your future, but stay in the present and work on it. Some of y'all, your problem is you dream too much. You dreaming so much, you ain't doing no work. Although I have a phenomenal dream of winning the Nobel Prize one day, because Martin Luther King got it, because Gandhi got it, because my hero, Mother Teresa, has it. I want to win a Nobel Prize. But God told me very closely, wake up in the morning and dream of the Nobel Prize, but get up and make the bed. God don't want you to get saved and be lost when he comes. He wants you to get saved and spend eternity. He wants you to get it and keep it. So the final one is, it's not enough. All this stuff I'm telling you, you're going to do it and you're going to get. But you got to keep it. And the way you show people God is real, not because you did something for a year or 2 years. Listen to me very closely. If you hanging out with people and something happened to you and they don't come looking for you, you with the wrong people. If you got people in your life and you going through it in your marriage and they not going to help you get through your marriage, you with the wrong people. If you sick and you done messed up and you done committed adultery and done something you ain't got no business doing, and all they can say is the obvious that you sick, I don't need nobody to tell me I'm sick. I already know I'm sick. I need somebody to stand by me when I'm sick. I need somebody to pray for me when I'm sick. I need somebody to fast for me when they sick. I need somebody to go without eating when they sick. I don't need you to be with me when I'm strong. I need you to stay with me. I need you to be able to leave the 99 that's got it going on. And I need you to come find the one that's lost. Are you hearing what I'm telling you today? You better stop running with people that as soon as they find out you got some dirt, they leave it. Because if all they need to know is you got some dirt to leave, they going to be gone. Because we all got dirt that somebody can leave us for. We need people that's going to stick beside us. That's going to walk us through those bad decisions. That's going to help us get back on our feet. We don't need people that's going to leave us when we mess up. We all mess up. We all fall short.
Shout out to Brother Eric Thomas. That was so powerful. I had to play for y'all the whole thing because the part at the end where he talked about being judgmental and people who keep inventory of what's wrong with somebody else. People who spy and look for what's wrong with somebody else. And then keep an inventory and keep a log of it. They're not going to the person and saying, hey, sister, you okay? Brother, you all right? Listen, I heard such and such so-and-so, or I saw such and such so-and-so. You need something? But we don't do that. We watch people just walk right off the ledge. Watch them go out on the plank and just fall right into the ocean. So I wanted to do, again, shout out to Brother Eric Thomas. I wanted to answer any questions on topics that you all may have today. We'll do a live Q&A. It's one of my favorite things to do. I like doing call-ins and live Q&A. You know, I started listening to talk radio as a little girl because of my mother. We would listen to the radio in the morning. And even in college, I would listen to Dr. Laura Schlesinger. I remember her. And she would just be answering people's questions and helping people. And I love doing that. So let's go with the first question I see from Sister Aurelia. She says, what are the pitfalls of having family as investors in your business? What are the pitfalls? So, Sister Aurelia, it doesn't have to be pitfalls, and it's not necessarily a pitfall. It could be one of the greatest blessings, or it can be a pitfall. Here's the thing. Allah instructed us to do for self. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us himself and through his servant, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, to pool our resources. 6 to 8 of us get together, go into business together, right? Introducing much needed goods and services into the community. Some of those 6 to 8 people can be family members. No different from a stranger. With a family member, you just got to make sure that they got the right mindset. You got to make sure that you're aligned. You should evaluate that family investor and that family partner the same way you would evaluate a non-family member or a stranger. The evaluation process in terms of alignment and the terms of the agreement should be looked at just the same. Part of the problem and what happens is, and why we get into these quote unquote pitfalls, is because oftentimes just because it's family, we don't do the evaluation. We don't set the tone up front. We don't come to agreements and set expectations. It's just, this is my sister, this is my brother, this is my parent, my cousin, and we just gonna go into business. And yeah, there's the risk, obviously, if it goes badly, of a potential relationship being ruined. But I think we got to do as much work up front in those situations as we would if we put out a random call for an investor and a person that we didn't know came to the table. See, a lot of times when we are doing business with each other, we are navigating through our own personal traumas that create pitfalls in the business. And if you know that your family member has traumas, you gotta deal with that up front. Look, anything can always go wrong. Things can always go wrong. There can always be problems. But you just want to make sure, number one, that you also cushion yourself, you protect yourself. I think sometimes we get real bothered when we see families going through stuff like fighting over estates or fighting over money. But you could fight over a stranger or somebody in the community or somebody outside of your community just the same. And nobody really talks about those. Nobody talks about those situations. So I would say there's not necessarily guaranteed pitfalls, Sister Aurelia, with doing business or having family members as investors. I'd say that just like anybody else, if you don't make sure that you set the right expectations, if it's a situation where you need the person to have certain skill sets, then you need to go, okay, what skill sets do I have? And if that family member doesn't have the skill sets, let me give you an example. Some people say don't hire family. I say don't hire family if they don't have the skill sets. See, part of the problem that we run into is that we bring our family into our businesses and they don't have the skill set. And so they're putting you at risk and everybody else in the business at risk because they may not have the skill sets. I personally don't think anything's wrong with nepotism. Because if you have a business and you want to bless your child, I don't think anybody has a right to tell you that you can't bless your child. Just put your child through the right educational and the training processes so that when they get in the business, they can be respected. If your family member comes to the table and wants to be one of your investors, wants to help you, maybe even bail you out, stop for a minute, stop being so emotional and set the expectations and put it in writing. Don't skip the written part just because it's a family member. So I think what happens is we skip so many steps because it's family members and it becomes a pitfall. Okay. And you may decide that you want to give a family member some exceptions. Just be really clear about all of that. Like I said, again, we just assume that if we go into business, it's going to be our family, our familial ties that are going to make us successful. And that's not necessarily the case. We got to do the same amount of due diligence, legal documentation that we would if we didn't know the person. Let me know if that answers your question. Thank you for your question. Anybody else for any other questions for our live Q&A today? Otherwise, I probably done preached enough this morning for y'all, huh? Give me some feedback on what y'all thinking, what's going through your minds. Y'all, anybody remember cassette tapes? Y'all probably too young. But this cup that I have is a composite of the spines of the cassette tapes from Prince albums. Isn't that cool? I'm working on some really cool stuff to add to our virtual gift shop. Have y'all visited the virtual gift shop yet? Have you ordered anything? Go out there. I think you'll be happy. And go on the website, sajdahhouse.com, scroll to the bottom where it says vibrate with us. Put your information in there because I don't want y'all mad at me when you can't get on the schedule for SD25. Don't be mad at me. Don't be mad at me. All right, family. No questions, no comments. I'm going to get out of here early then. Support the network. Make sure you like and subscribe. Hit that super chat button. share. If you see my videos, you see my short videos, share them with friends. We have to make this stuff go viral ourselves. We got to go in the comments ourselves. We got to forward it, share it, tell a friend. We have to do this ourselves. I've been doing some studying about the internet, and what's starting to happen now with the internet is that everybody's engagement is down and it's low because they become so ad driven now. And now they say that if you spend $100 on advertising on social media or on internet advertising, then $34 of that, only $34 of that is actually effective. So you're spending $60 to get $34 worth of advertising. And I've been known that because I remember working with an ad agency when we were, it was either, I can't remember if I learned, I know when I learned this, when I was working with, I had been noticing it with the surgery center and the hospital. But then when I became a Massage Envy franchisee and they started teaching us about advertising and internet advertising, and I started learning it at a more granular level, I learned that, so much money is spent on internet advertising. And if you got deep pockets, it can work well. But if you don't have deep pockets, or you're not even deep pockets, but if you're just not willing to give it to them, and I've seen so many people just lose their shirt on advertising. And for me, because I speak a lot of things that are contrary to what may be important on the internet, like making sure we do for self, about our spiritual guides, about my religion as a Muslim, that's very much woven into who I am and into the principles of who I am. And especially for a woman, it's oftentimes discriminated against. And it's okay, because I told y'all at the beginning, I'm winning. I'm getting blessing after blessing after blessing. It just pours in. And so are you. Every time I look around, I'm looking for God in everything. And Allah's like, oh, here I am. So it's okay. But I'm just telling y'all what we got to do for self. We got to like, we got to subscribe. We got to hit the super chat button. We got to support via Cash App. We got to do for self. All right, family. Peace and blessings. Love you all very much. I wish each and every one of you more goodness than you've ever experienced or imagined. All right. And we'll see you all, inshallah, tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Central Time, right here on the Sajdah Wendy Muhammad YouTube channel. Peace and blessings.